Canadian Taxpayers Federation is holding the Alberta NDP government's feet to the fire over their new carbon tax in a new campaign launch. They erected a billboard right across the street from SAIT, right here in Calgary, to send the NDP a message. And I got a chance to talk to Alberta Director Paige McPherson about the tax that's going to cost Alberta families a lot more come January 1st, 2017. We know there's nothing good about costs for Alberta's families going up at a time of such economic turmoil. But what's more is that the government is being totally hypocritical, as Paige points out here.
Albertans are so frustrated with the double standard from the Alberta government. Albertans are paying $2.8 million to purchase Ford F-150 pickup trucks and luxury SUVs for government bureaucrats and ministers to get from point A to point B. Now, why aren't we purchasing more fuel-efficient cars for these government officials? Well, Stephanie McLean, Service Alberta Minister, said that it's because there are treacherous road conditions in Alberta and they need to be safe getting from point A to point B. Well, guess what, Minister? That's exactly why Albertan families purchase pickup trucks and SUVs too. There's this double standard when it comes to the government. While we purchase them large gas-guzzling vehicles and pay for their gas, and yet the government is telling Albertans to trade in their truck for a smart car so that they can avoid paying the carbon tax. It's completely unfair.
And now Justin Trudeau and the federal Liberals have imposed yet another carbon tax, which McPherson says will be passed down to households.
Justin Trudeau's $50 a ton carbon tax that he wants to impose, in just 6 years annually, it could cost $2,600 for the average household in Canada because of this carbon tax. When are politicians going to be satisfied and say that Albertans and Canadians are paying enough tax? This carbon tax is not going to make a dent in global climate change. It's only going to make a bigger dent in Albertans' wallets.
There's been a lot of talk coming from the NDP that say Albertans want this tax and it will get much needed oil and gas infrastructure approved and in place. But they didn't even campaign on implementing this tax at all. And in some ways, it looks like a money transfer that will take cash from the wealthy and redistribute it to Albertans that fall into a certain income bracket. Here, Paige describes what the CTF is hearing from citizens.
Despite the fact that this is a wildly unpopular tax, that poll after poll shows that Albertans oppose the carbon tax, the government just doesn't seem to be getting the message. The carbon tax is not occurring in isolation. It's occurring at the same time as a laundry list of other tax and cost hikes on Alberta families and businesses. And at this time when the economy is struggling so much, the carbon tax is really just rubbing salt in the wound. But really, even at the best of times, the carbon tax is a bad idea. And we say that for Albertans and for all Canadians, the carbon tax is all pain and no gain.
The Rebel also did a poll of Albertans asking about the carbon tax. The majority of respondents said that they believe that this tax is a cash grab and that it's going to cost them. They also said that they want a referendum on implementing the tax, and that majority even includes NDP voters. During these hard economic times, nobody wants the added burden of more money coming out of their pockets at the expense of a government that already overtaxes its people. In fact, they find new and creative ways to do so on the premise that it's going to help people, but that platform is usually built on myths. When will enough be enough? For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Hey, thanks for watching. Click the link below to check out those poll results that I just talked about and to sign our petition against this cash grab.